Now let us discuss about data science career. Okay, so what exactly you are looking for further with respect to the course, or maybe at the end of the course. Okay, so there are few kind of again, these are not limited, so these are just the basic ones where you can start up with your career with. So first thing is, obviously it makes sense with respect to data science engineer. Okay, so data science engineer can also be known as a data scientist if you go further or get expertise in this particular domain. Okay, so here you will be dealing with all those things which we had discussed earlier. So basically with respect to the whole data science pipeline. Okay, so you would be the a data science engineer is a person who would be responsible for doing all those stuff. Okay, and next we have data analyst. So here the kind of data analyst will be involved a lot in with respect to the pre-processing step. Okay, or data acquiring. Okay, so most likely the pre-processing step. So statistical or visualization are the kind of helicopter view what you can tell with respect to what they are going to be dealing with. Okay, and next one is need not to be surprised. So since we are dealing with data science, we need to create models which will be like kind of machine learning. So again, once taking up this course also, further down, if you feel machine learning is kind of quite interesting, just going with respect to machine learning. So again, if we are dealing with very high or very huge application projects, so then definitely machine learning will be a lot kind of a deeper understanding. And also similarly we have deep learning engineer. Okay, so this has very deep insights. Okay, so these are the two things where we can deal with further down with respect to the engineering. Okay, so and data science engineer would be overall. Okay, so again, for example, as we was discussing self-driving cars, right? So self-driving cars need to have a lot of data analysis. So usually it won't be like kind of data scientist would be guiding people who are like kind of data analyst and machine learning and also deep learning engineers. Okay, so data scientist might be guiding them. So again, with respect to kind of project management or something like that. Okay, so the data science career can also work down. Actually, the machine learning is nothing but a sub branch of data science itself. Okay, so with respect to data only, this machine learning has come up. Okay, so those are the careers. So mainly not focus more on the careers, always take with respect to what are the key skills you need to have for being a data engineer. Okay, so let it be any kind of machine learning or anything. Okay, so these are the key steps, and also aim to reach all these steps. Okay, so in this lecture we will be covering all the learning aspects. So again, with respect to these skills will not come with just taking up a single course. Okay, so it will come with respect to immense amount of practice, gaining knowledge, and especially dealing with real world applications. Okay, so there are fundamental skills that has to be adapted or acquired by a data engineer. Okay, so what are those? So let us discuss in detail. So first thing is always like again machine learning. Okay, so machine learning we have a few foundational skills. Okay, so first foundational skill is it is programming languages. Okay, so first thing is programming languages. So this is the first foundational skill. Okay, so with respect to programming languages, at the like kind of a minimum sound of working with respect to some kind of language like Python, which we will be complete in detail. So if you are taking up this course, finishing it, definitely you are gonna be acquiring this skill. Okay, so again there are many other languages, like especially dealing with statisticals, means language known as R, Scala, etc. Okay, so again having one language is sufficient, because if you learn one language, you can definitely learn other languages. Okay, so it will be quite similar. Only thing is the how you put down the syntax. Okay, it is similar to with respect to human languages what we communicate, right? So this lecture is based on English medium language. Okay, so it might be a different language, but ultimately the meanings remain same. The only words will change. Okay, similarly the syntax will change with respect to different languages. Okay, so that is a programming language. And next we have database management. So again, this also comes under a foundational skill itself. So here we need to have kind of skills like maybe the best example or the beginners level would be an SQL. Okay, So SQL with respect to database, you need to store your data, right? So you need to acquire them, you need to write it back, fetch it again, or do something, some analysis. Maybe real time it is coming, so those needs to be stored in kind of database. Okay. So we have another foundational skill, so that is analytic or BA tools. Okay. So one would think that like this is kind of the realm for the data scientist. Okay, so it is the most important part. So however, a data engineer must build a pipeline that supports data analysis and machine learning. Okay, so it helps the understanding of the terminologies and also especially the outputs for the end user. Okay, so a non-technical person should understand. Okay, so with respect to data engineers also needs to use statistical modeling. Okay, so that this is where with respect to analytics and BA tools comes into picture. And next we have kind of deployment environments. Okay, so one thing would be with respect to different operating systems. Okay, so since operating systems make a like kind of, you will be working on one of the operating system. Okay, so it can be Windows or a Linux distro base uh, or Unix. Okay, so a knowledge about these operating system is must required, because a program might work in Windows operating system, the same set of rules might not apply for Linux operating system. So you need to have a sound knowledge. And other deployment would be something like cloud on like on premises. Okay, so usually companies and their external data suppliers have data stored in various cloud systems and on premises. Okay, so it means they have local servers, so in them also there can be stored. So a data engineer has to bring all these databases together to enable everyone in the company to use this data. Okay, so that is with respect to uh, cloud storage also. So next we have containers. So again, this is also with respect to deployment. So containers are like kind of lightweight versions of the traditional virtual machines. Okay, so you might have at least heard once with respect to virtual machines. If not, definitely you just go Google around. So you will be like kind of amazed that you can literally run one operating system on another operating system by just allocating few resources of your hardware. Okay, so try not to allocate the complete. So if it is not making sense, just go ahead and search. So again, it is a very beautiful concept what you can implement. So everyone tests out their simple scenarios where they don't want to break the system. They can just create a virtual machine and they can break it that. Okay, so they can do all the experimenting. Okay, and it is literally a kind of very easy to use, and also it is less costly with respect to teams being deployed, like it for a team for deploying, managing, and also scaling with a distributive application. Okay, so you can just expand this virtual machine as per your needs. If you are not using it, it can use less resources also. Okay, so they provide many advantages for data scientists. The rapid rise of containers applications is a very good example, like how the nature of data science, data engineers job is constantly evolving with the new skills sets that are required. Okay, so next we have few organizational specific skills. Okay, so here domains and business enterprise. Okay, so just ignore that apostrophe over here. So with respect to domain, again, in most organizations there are tremendous amount of legacy business information, like kind of older information in the company data. So without the domain knowledge, so we cannot have these data like kind of deployed or kind of with respect to, again, maybe getting down into kind of the databases. Okay, so additionally, without domains and business enterprises, it is difficult to imagine the work of a data engineer aligning very well with the strategy of the business. Okay, so if you need to understand the business model, you need to know the domain and the business expertise what they are dealing with. And next we have optimization. So the key skill here is not just able to build a data pipeline, but to build one scalable and efficient. Okay, so your pipeline should be efficient as much as possible and also scalable. For maybe higher application, you need to scale the or maybe for a bigger data, you need to have the scalability with respect to your data science pipeline. Okay, so higher level skills are needed to design and build a data warehouse. Okay, so that can optimize the performance of queries, and when the data warehouse becomes very large. So finding new ways to make analysis performant. Okay. And next we have data governance and security, another very important. Okay, so security is very much important. Okay, so when data engineers are not typically responsible for data governance, but they must ensure the system is in place for a good access and user control. Okay, so they need to be aware of the data governance and concept to be sure that the tools and platforms they put into the place supports proper data governance. Okay, so it should not be publicly available all of a sudden. Okay, so that's how it is. And next we have creativity and also collaborations. Okay, so with respect to creativity and collaborations, these skill sets will come under something like kind of interpersonal. Okay, so it is kind of for individual also. Okay, so over here clearly the data engineers are expected to have wide array of technical expertise like data science. However, the jobs are also require critical thinking and the ability of solving problems creatively. Okay, so that is very important. Solving problems is not the only requirement. Solving problems creatively is crucial. Okay, so this might include like creating solutions that does not exist at all, and also collaborating. So in addition, the data engineers must also work efficiently in collaborating with other data experts and also communicating with the results and recommendations to colleagues with and without technical background as well. So most problems with data are like people and teams issue. Okay, so they are not technically issue, so at least not initially. So the technology usually gets blamed because it is easier for to blame the technology and to look inward at the team itself. Okay, so it is not that easy with respect to a technical person looking at the problem, whereas non-technical will not seeing much. Okay, so until you solve your personal issues, you won't hit the right tough technology issues. Okay, so you need to create value with the big data you are set to create. So you are set out to create. Okay, so also with respect to the decision making, etc. things also. So again, another skill set which would be like kind of DevOps. Okay, so there is a skill set and mindset that comes being with respect to ops role, and it is difficult to find developers with this kind of mindset. So if you have this, so definitely an added advantage skill set. Okay, so it is not that crucial. Okay, especially for a fresher. That's why I didn't include in this list. And next we have machine learning or AI. Okay, so this is a part of being a data science engineer. So you might need to think that machine learning is a territory of data scientist. Okay, so but if an AI is the top of the pyramid actually of the business needs. Okay, so the ability to collect and move data is primary need for business to get to the top of the pyramid. Okay, and also with respect to we need to work on streaming or real time. Okay, so with advancement of technology and more predictions is done in real time. Okay, so by deploying the models. Okay, so we won't be just fetching out the data in the past and predicting for the futures, maybe like kind of acquiring the data, do analysis and release the data maybe after a week or so. Not like that, it should be on point. Okay, so the data streaming should be happening in parallel, real time data acquiring and also predicting. Okay, so we also live in a world where it is increasingly with respect to real time information and decision making. Okay, so decision makings are also crucial. One best example would be stock market. Okay, so for this real time would be always the stock market. You can't just analyze the previous data and give prediction for tomorrow. Maybe it can give prediction for tomorrow, but the decision making with respect to at the present. Okay, so especially with the people who are trading, so they need to get the decisions immediately. They need to take wiser decisions such a way that they can maximize their profits. Okay, so building a streaming data pipeline rather than just a batch based. Okay, so getting the batch of data then giving it out. Okay, is yet another new set of skill and data engineer must implement. Okay, so this is about the career with respect to walking down with respect to the future, and especially the data engineering skills. Okay, so it is very crucial to have all this for a successful career.